We all hear from so many coaches and consultants and read in all these books about the need for processes in your business, the instructions that you can use to train and manage your employees as you grow. Without them, they say your business is people dependent. And when you lose one of these people, well, things suffer. It's like you take 2 steps forward and then boom, you're 1 step back. Maybe not all the way back to the beginning, but it's things suffer. And my guess is that that's also been your experience, and what they say is actually true. So you've probably tried to get processes written, and you find that it's not that easy. In fact, you probably haven't done very well with that as well. Maybe you've even got a bunch of processes written, but now people aren't following them. So you've lost hope in having a business that can work whether or not you're there. Well, what if there was a proven system that once learned could help you build this business of your dreams, made it easy to grow and expand without consuming your life? It allowed you to create a business that gave you the abundance and profit, one that could run smoothly and consistently, and it just gave you time to do what you love to do. Think of what a radical transformation this could be for your life. I mean, imagine if your work, your business was easy. It was fun. You had time. You could focus on things. You could have success with order and control. Imagine being able to take off at a moment's notice tomorrow for 2 weeks, a month, maybe more. And when you come back, instead of coming back to chaos and overwhelm, it's as if you never went away. Your business is humming along successfully. You didn't start a business so you could be stressed out. You didn't start a business so that you'd be out of control and overworked. You started your business because you were passionate about what you do, and you did it well. You wanted freedom, you wanted control, and maybe you even wanted a ton of money. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if there was a program or a plan that could give you that, wouldn't you want to know about it? Well, I've got it. I'm Michael Mills. I've been assisting entrepreneurs to build the business of their dreams for more than 20 years. I want you to think of a process-dependent business as a three-legged stool. One leg we're going to call people or team. It's all about getting good people on the bus. We all know about that. We read about that all the time too. Getting good people on the bus, that's really important. So you start building a business of great people. But those people, they leave. And when they leave, what they did and how they did it leaves with them, because it's up here. Again, it's a couple steps forward, and now you're right back where you were. Except now it's even harder because you're busier, and you have to do what they did, and you might not even know how they did it. But good people, you got to get them. That's one leg. And then someone comes along, maybe like me, and convinces you of the importance and value of processes. It just makes so much sense, right? So you get a bunch of processes documented, all these instructions that you use to train and manage your employees. So now everyone knows what's expected of them and how to achieve those expectations. They know how to do what needs to be done. So that's then the second leg of the three-legged stool. But that's not going to get you to where you want to go if your people aren't following your processes. And I don't believe you can force your employees to follow your processes. You need to have employees want to follow your processes. So this is what I would call culture, how we do it here. You hear that from Michael Gerber all the time. Your employees need to want to follow your processes. Your employees need to want to help you innovate your processes and keep them current. This is the third leg of that stool. This is what stabilizes everything. Well, how do you make that happen? Out of the work that we've been doing for the past 20 plus years, we've developed a program plan to make it happen, to smoothly build a process-dependent business. And we've now got a workshop of building the culture of your process-dependent business, a workshop that lasers in specifically on that third leg of the stool. I can say that from the chair you're sitting in, I'm going to make you a better manager of getting things done. That's right. Attend this workshop, and in a matter of 6 weeks, You'll have a set of customized management processes that will help you and your managers build the corporate culture you need to create the business of your dreams. A business that is many times more valuable than what you have now, and a business that can give you the abundance and the freedom and the joy that you thought was right around the corner when you first got started. When your people are willingly following and innovating your processes, when you've built a culture that can thrive, a culture that defines how we do it here, well, once you know how to make that happen, you can have a business that can grow to be as big or bigger than you ever imagined without having to encroach on your life and livelihood. A business like this gives you the time and the freedom to do what you want and love to do, either inside or outside of work. That's what successful entrepreneurship is supposed to feel like. So that's what this video is about. Now, as I said, I've been assisting entrepreneurs in this capacity for more than 20 years. For 17 of those years, I was an eMyth consultant delivering Michael Gerber's eMyth Mastery program. But that program, it was so theoretical, our clients were spending tons of money and tons of time. And while there was a lot of great information in the program, they still weren't getting their processes implemented. And that was the whole foundation of the Mastery program. So we built a software application and a program plan to make that happen, to simplify the process of creating a process-dependent business. So let me tell you a quick story. When I first started out, I went to work for my dad. He was a business owner, and his plans were for my brother and I to take over things. It was a sweet deal, right? Just out of college and into what I thought was going to be my own business. But it's tough working for your dad, and he was fairly young at the time with really no plans of retiring soon. Well, long story short, I really wasn't happy working in that industry. It was really tough being, in my early 20s and still being told what to do by my father. I was really looking for independence. I wanted excitement. I wanted control. At the time, Apple Computer had just come out with the Apple IIe. I'm probably dating myself here. And so brash as I was, I hired a couple of programmers and I created a software company. We started computerizing art galleries, and I moved the company to New York City. I mean, what could be more exciting, right? And I had an amazing time. I was young. I was invincible. I was going to be the next Bill Gates. I was going to be retiring early in my early 30s and be driving around in my red Ferrari. Well, as you can imagine, things didn't quite work out that way. I did find myself working 10, 14 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week. And yeah, it was exciting. I was young, but it was also stressful and it was exhausting. And it was really hard for me to get my employees to do the things I wanted them to do. My attitude at the time was if I needed it done right, I was probably going to have to do it myself. And when I did get a great employee, they'd get hired away or they'd move on to some other interesting opportunity. In 1993, I ended up selling that company, and I didn't get much for it because if you think about it, the company wasn't worth that much. I mean, I thought it was worth a lot, but a buyer comes in and thinks, who'd ever want that job? I was grinding it out day after day after day. So I took some time to reflect. Owning a business had not been as much fun as I had imagined it would be. In fact, it had been pretty frustrating, not very profitable, and really not much fun at all. And I kept thinking, how was I going to retire and put all that cash in my pocket and be able to afford a red Ferrari? Frankly, at the time, I was so burned out, I was wondering how I was even going to be able to live long enough to retire. And then I read this book by Michael Gerber called The E-Myth, Why Most Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. The book made a lot of sense to me. It talked about the importance and value of having processes that could be used for hiring, for training, for managing employees so I could get them to actually do what I needed them to do and have it done consistently and reliably, time after time after time. In fact, it made so much sense that I ended up creating a consulting company delivering the eMyth Mastery program to hundreds and hundreds of companies, like I mentioned earlier. Now, we've worked with lawyers, we've worked with mortgage brokers, with chiropractors, all types of construction companies, HVAC contractors, electrical contractors, plumbing contractors, landscapers, really all different types of businesses. And I can't tell you how often I hear something like, well, Michael Gerber, he's just talking about a hamburger franchise or a pie shop. My business is different. My business could never be process dependent. My business could never be systematized. But I did it myself. And at the time, I had a consulting company. What could be more difficult to systematize than a consulting company? And the story, it gets better. When my son was in 8th grade, my wife was concerned that, he was pretty little. And we were wondering, what could we do to help him mature, to grow up a little bit before he went into our local high school? This was a really big school, thousands of kids. Well, the answer, in 2004, we took a year off and traveled around the world. It was the best thing I have ever done in my life, and I recommend it to everyone. But I would never have been able to do it had I not left behind the processes that everyone needed to be able to do what needed to be done. During that year off, I was essentially calling in for the numbers. And through it all, 12 months later, I came back and things were pretty much humming along. It was as if I'd never left. I've seen so many business owners get stuck in this rut, grinding it out, worried week after week after week. How am I even going to make payroll this week? Or they're so busy, they don't even know when they're going to be able to have time to be with their wife and children. It doesn't have to be this way. I know this. I've helped hundreds of business owners get to this place of freedom, and I've done it myself. So I think about how frustrating it can be to be a business owner. Obviously, when I think about that, I think of my own experience. But let me tell you a client story. Mike Talty of Clover Electric in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Mike owns a successful electrical contracting business, and when we first met, he was telling me about how much he needed to get his more of his processes written, but more importantly, how challenging it was to get his people to follow the few processes that they had. No one could find the processes when they needed them. They didn't want to have to be searching for a specific process by file name. Most of the time, they couldn't even remember the file name, so they couldn't find the processes and they would just wing it. Or they couldn't access, they had a lot of content on their network P drive in their office, but they couldn't access it when they were out on the road. Or if they did find a process, if they went all through that effort, they found it wasn't current. Well, we don't do it that way anymore. So it was frustrating for Mike. It was frustrating for his employees. There was a lot of opportunity in his community to grow his business, but they weren't able to take advantage of that opportunity because things just weren't going smoothly enough for the company. So Mike went through our workshop. He was able to get all of his processes organized in one simple web-based application, the TouchStone Business System. Mike made it easy for his employees to find and follow their processes. And now they're growing with ease and control. He's having a blast. And the company's, it's more profitable than it was before. So I want to change your experience of what it's like coming to work. I want to offer you a different picture. Having a business that works so you don't have to, or you don't have to work as hard as you want, or you don't have to do the things you don't want to do in your business because they're doing by other people who love doing that work and they're doing it well. But before I tell you more about our ManagementScaping workshop, I have to warn you that you're going to need to take action. You can't procrastinate here. This workshop is going to be a live, interactive implementation workshop. I can only take a limited number of companies. Together, live, over the internet, each of you with me, we'll be customizing, we'll actually be working on a series of pre-written processes to make them work for your company. And I can only do that with a limited number of companies. And also registration is going to be open for a very short time because the class starts on Thursday, October 15th. And then I got to shut it down and start the class. So since you're watching this video, you're probably not experiencing the abundance and freedom that you thought you'd get from owning your own business. You probably want to grow, but you can't seem to figure out how to do that without killing yourself or ruining your family life. You can't work 24/7 even though it seems like you're going to have to. You're probably frustrated that your employees are doing things inconsistently and not doing them the way you want them done. You're probably tired of, yet again, you having to deal with that complaining customer because something went wrong that shouldn't have gone wrong. So if that's up for you, then the ManagementScaping workshop is designed to change that. So first off, when you join the ManagementScaping workshop, you will gain access to the TouchStone Business System software if you don't already have an account. Some of you out there already have the TouchStone software. And you'll have access to the platform free for the duration of the workshop. So those of you who have an account, it will be free for the next 6 weeks. You'll have access to a library of pre-written process templates. I've broken up the workshop into 6 live interactive sessions. In each of those sessions, we're going to be downloading one specific process, one specific for each session, and we will work on it. We will customize it for your particular business. I will walk you through all of the steps to create a series of management processes that you will then use to turn your employees into believers, into a loyal group who understand how valuable processes can be. You will now be able to enroll them in your culture, how to do it here. All of the sessions will be recorded, so after the program is over, you'll have access to the recordings. You'll be able to go back and review the material at your leisure. And you're going to find that the ability to do that, to review all this material as often as you like, at your own convenience, it's priceless. It's great to be able to do that. You can also choose to keep your TouchStone software subscription active after the course finishes for a small monthly fee, and then you'll continue to access the rest of the library of processes that we have available. You'll also have unlimited access to our absolutely over-the-top support team. These are dedicated professionals who believe as deeply as I do in wanting to change your life for the better. So what are you going to learn in the ManagementScaping course? First of all, we're going to focus on that third leg of the three-legged stool. You're going to learn how to create that culture, how we do it here. You're going to learn about a series of management processes, specific tools that you and your managers will customize and use to gain consistency and efficiency in your organization. You're going to learn how to enroll your employees into helping you create a process-dependent business, how to keep your processes organized and current so they actually work for you and them. And I'm going to show you how to do all of this in the ManagementScaping workshop. The bottom line is that we're going to cover a lot of ground over the 6 weeks, and you're going to come out the other end with the foundation to create a process-dependent business, a business that can scale to be as big as you want it to be. So I think I'm putting together a pretty amazing program, and it's a really good offer, but I thought long and hard about how could I make this work even better for you? So I want to take you beyond the just knowing and really get you into action. And so I came up with, well, if I don't say so myself, I think what is an amazing bonus. I'm going to give you 11 additional meetings with my amazing colleague, Shannon Brody. She will continue the customizing of your processes, the ones that we download and start working on together in our weekly sessions. She'll continue with those to make sure that they get customized for you. These 11 additional meetings, they're all about helping you achieve a desired result, getting those processes customized and built and implemented so they work for you and they make sense to you. I've designed the bonus so that you can customize the level of intensity at which you want to participate. I mean, you could attend all of the meetings as needed, 1 hour a week or 3 hours a week. It's your choice, whatever you choose. Now you're going to get this bonus, these 11 additional meetings, 1 day prior and 1 day after each of your weekly sessions with me. I usually sell 10 process development meetings for $1,200. So this bonus is almost worth the cost of the entire ManagementScaping workshop. And you'll get this meeting bonus for free when you register. And to sweeten the pot even further, I want to open up this workshop to any managers on your team for free. This is a great program to include anyone in your company who manages or plans to manage other employees. And essentially now it's like getting 2 or 3 or 4 ManagementScaping workshops, well, for the price of one. And now you're wondering, well, what is he going to charge for this ManagementScaping workshop? Well, first of all, let me say that you've got the value of the 11 process development meetings. That's more than $1,200. You've got access to the TouchStone Business System software for 6 weeks. That's going to be included. That's another $225. You've got essentially free tickets to include any of your managers for free. And well, for each manager who attends, you're basically cutting the fee of the program in half because you're splitting it amongst yourselves. So, boom, the fee for the ManagementScaping workshop is 2 payments of $797. And again, if you make one initial payment in advance, we discount that $1,594 fee another $200, so that if you pay in advance, the fee for this workshop is $1,394. So remember, if you want your business to run smoothly and consistently, if it hasn't happened already, and if it has, and you're one of the lucky few, and if I would be kind of surprised if you've watched this video to this point, if you were, but if you haven't achieved that dream business situation, you can't just expect it's going to happen. Working harder isn't going to get you to where you want to be. You need to take action. Click the button below this video to register for the ManagementScaping workshop. Think of how your life will be different if you commit right now to taking action, to taking this action. Imagine what it could be like if you could have that dream business. Oh, and one other thing. I'm offering a full 100%, no questions asked, money back guarantee. If you determine that this workshop, it's just not right for you, if it's not exactly what you think you need, just let me know and we'll gladly refund your money. No hassles, no hard feelings, no questions asked. There is one caveat to this guarantee. You must request your money back prior to the start of the 3rd session with me. By this time, you'll have had 7 working sessions if you've participated in all the meetings with myself and with Shannon. You have had 7 sessions to decide whether or not you made the right choice. Obviously 2 meetings with me, 5 with my colleague Shannon. So you have up until that time to say, it's not for me, request your money back. That's it, not a problem. And one last thing I need to mention, this is a limited time offer. Registration for the ManagementScaping workshop, it's only open for a few more days, and then I'm going to close it down and we will start the sessions. If you want to get in, you need to act quickly because that registration window, it's not going to be open for long. However, if you miss out, well, don't freak out or anything. The odds are pretty good that I'll offer another chance for this program in the next, 6 to 12 months. I haven't got it planned, but I'm sure I'll do it before 12 months is up. So if you're not ready to step up today, then maybe when it opens up again, say 6, 12 months from now, well, maybe then it will be the right time. If you're ready to grab control, then your next step is to click that order button below, get yourself registered. Now, I'm not some business development magician. I just stumbled into a discovery more than 25 years ago that became the foundation for this workshop. And since then, I've continually worked on it. I've refined it. I've added to it. I've perfected it. And the result is a system that can be applied very successfully over and over and over again. And so if you're ready, jump in, get registered. Now's your time. In fact, there's never a better time, because the truth is there's never really a good time, right? I mean, you're always busy, but you have to act now. Registration will be closing. Say yes to finding that abundance in whatever form you want it to be. Money, time, freedom, control, maybe all of that. Click the button below. Join me. I'd love to see you on the other side. Oh, one last thing. You have a big decision to make. I can't make it for you. The only thing I can do is tell you that our programs work. It worked for me, as I explained. It allowed me to pick up and take off for that year, traveling around the world with my wife and my 14-year-old son on this epic adventure. And it's worked for hundreds of other business owners and managers and entrepreneurs just like you. So click the button, register, and I'll see you in the program on the other side. This is Michael Mills saying thank you for watching, and I look forward to working with you soon.